on them in the first round. Pretty bold move to get some offense into that lineup.
Winnipeg Jets have moved things around a little bit. They had the 12th selection here in the opening round, but swapped that with the Chicago Blackhawks, so we have the Jets moving into position now to make their first pick. And here's what the Jets are looking for. Some goaltending long-term, I guess, Bob, and two-way wingers with some size.
Yeah, there won't be any goaltending available at this point in the draft that they would want to jump in on. If they do favor Americans, or they have in the past, at this point, I'll be surprised if they go to an American. Mike Smith, of course, very strong European influence, especially Russia.
Position now to make their first pick, and here's what the Jets are looking for. Some goaltending long-term, I guess, Bob, and two-way wingers with some size.
Yeah, there won't be any goaltending available at this point in the draft that they would want to jump in on. If they do favor Americans, or they have in the past, at this point, I'll be surprised if they go to an American. Mike Smith, of course, very strong European influence, especially Russian. Those two Ottawa 67s are still sitting there, Curtis Bowen and Grant Marshall. Let's see if they jump in on one of those two big wingers.
Go ahead, Winnipeg.
Bill Lesuc up there to make
the Winnipeg Jets are very honored and pleased to select Sergie Bautin from Dynamo Moscow.
I didn't even catch the last name on that one. We're going to have a little confusion here. Leave it to the Winnipeg Jets and Mike Smith.
They have found an unknown Russian player.
I couldn't hear Bill Lesuc very well at the microphone. Look at Mike Smith laughing. He's getting a big kick out of this because he says nobody knows who this guy is. And you know what? This could prove to be one of the embarrassing moments of the draft where you're sitting there and you're saying, who the heck is this guy?
Well, it sounded like Sergei Bozeman, and I don't know if Lesuc's pronunciation was as good as it could be.
Well, Bill Lesuc's looking for him up in the crowd right now. We'll pull out our list here and start hunting for the guy. I'd like to get the spelling and the pronunciation on that name because it was a little blurred at the microphone trying to listen to Bill Lesuc.
First name, Sergei, as I understood it. And after that, it all went a little foggy. Sergie Brylin is what he was trying to say.
Brylin, there we go. We found him. Not a very big guy, but obviously very skilled. 5'9", 176 pounds. And, you know, sometimes I wonder about what you can almost call reverse discrimination. And that is, you look at a North American who's 5'9", 176 pounds, and they say, well, he's much too small to play the game. But the Russians are so very, very strong on their feet. They have excellent balance. They're 5'9", 176 pounds. The Winnipeg Jets obviously not afraid to jump in on Sergie Brylin from Moscow Dynamo, which is being absolutely decimated here today. Alexei Yashin, Darius Kasparaitis, the list goes on of the Moscow Dynamo players who've been selected today.
Continuing the discussion down there, Mike Smith of the Jets says they have just made the 17th pick. Pick they traded the Chicago Blackhawks for. The Jets had an earlier pick of number 12, but swapped with the Chicago Blackhawks. So the Jets have taken Sergei Brylin from the Soviet, from Russia, as far as it stands right now. A bit of a surprise because he is not listed amongst many of the top players that were listed here, expected to go in the first round. But the European flavor to this draft, Bob McKenzie, continues to be very, very distinct here.
There's no question about that. I stand corrected. It wasn't Moscow Dynamo that he played for. He announced it was Moscow Dynamo. It was with the Red Army team that he was, in fact, a member this year. He played 36 games with them, had 6 goals, 12 points over the course of that. And a very fine playmaker who moves the puck very quickly. Winnipeg Jets, Mike Smith knows all the Russians. He knows where they're all buried because he's always been, as a scout with the Winnipeg Jets, has always had a fine appreciation for the Russian game. He has a doctorate in Russian studies, and Winnipeg Jets probably shouldn't be surprised at all that they went to a Russian with that pick.